This was used at the state fairs. Yes, as you can see over here, the triangle of life. Yeah, the environment, education, and heritage. What are you? You can improve your education and even change your environment, but what you really are was all settled when your parents were born. Selected parents will have better children. Oh, wow. This is the great aim of eugenics. And as you can see here, it lists who the unfit are. Unfit human traits such as feeble-mindedness, epilepsy, criminality, insanity, alcoholism, pauperism, and many others run in families and are inherited in exactly the same way as color in guinea pigs. If all marriages were eugenic, we could breed out most of the unfitness in 3 generations. No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't, because first of all, you don't know you are the unfit people because you don't have a moral compass. That's the one that's not mentioned up there. When you have no moral compass, you're unfit. Unfit. So you would just have generations of unfit people that are unfit because they're morally bankrupt. We have enough. I mean, we have enough of that as it is. But I'll tell you this much, and I obviously I'm not saying this for everybody because there's those people that have the higher education. I mean, I've worked with them, okay, and they do care. They have a moral compass. But the majority of the people that I see that care and that have a moral compass are people that don't have, that aren't, would see this for what it is, and this is grotesque. That's what our science is. It's the same now. They just don't call it eugenics anymore, because again, they want a continuous stream of research subjects, and now they're going as far, present day, as trying to figure out how they can monetize your patient data that's in the hospital record. Yes, same unfit people. Same type of unfit people, I should say. They're people that will never listen to anybody else because as long as they went and got all of that education, it allows them to block out anybody that tries to bring reason and morals to them. Really, that's the reason these kind of things happen in this world, because everybody's been told that the highest of educated are the experts. But when you lack a moral compass, you're not an expert, you're a danger. And this is a perfect example. This was just like in the last week. Health systems have a large amount of patient data through EHRs and other digital platforms managing administrative tasks and clinical care. The de-identified patient data is useful for creating large language models, precision medicine, and drug discovery. There are opportunities for hospitals and health systems to commercialize patient data, and monetization could be valuable for hospitals with thin margins. But is it ethical? Should that even be asked? It's obvious. No, it's not ethical, most especially when in the past 4 years, greatly, there's been nothing but cyber attacks on hospitals. So should this be even asked? No. But again, these are all experts that are at the top of the hospital system that go to some conference, and you can see here what it is. 4 healthcare leaders address the questions during a panel at Becker's Health IT and Digital Health Revenue Cycle Conference, which was October 1st through the 4th in Chicago. Yeah, keyword there being revenue. That's all they care about. And they'll never listen to anybody else because they became too educated. I'm not against education. Let me make that clear. I'm against what the education has created people that never will listen to anybody. None of these people, there's just 4 of them, none of them have a moral compass. But they try to act like they do, yet they themselves can't see how has the science fixed anything? Has the science cured anything? No, they cannot see how when you're building just more and more and more hospitals, it means you're not improving things in science. Academic medical centers in particular are poised to advance healthcare research. It's all about research. Anything goes when it comes to research. Drug discovery and large language models, but organizations need to ensure they aren't exploiting patient data or unnecessarily risking HIPAA violations. You've already done that. With all the cyber attacks, everybody in America's had their data breached, okay? Yet they can't, that's how stupid these people are. I just like stop following your money hungry cheat. But these are the people that are the problem in the hospital. They always are. Christian Lindmark, Vice President and Chief Technology Officer at Stanford Healthcare and School of Medicine, agreed most health systems and physician groups have taken a conservative approach to patient data commercialization, but cautioned non-traditional entrants without the same hesitation could reap the benefits. Startups offering a data-driven model for primary care are poised to collect and commercialize data. It's all about taking what's in your healthcare record that you thought that you owned. You don't own it, by the way. Did you know that? No, you don't. And trying to put it in large language models just so they can do the same thing as the eugenist people did back in the 20s, which is weeding out, trying to, pick people apart, like just leave people alone, like just leave people the hell alone, leave people's data alone, but you people are all the same. You have no boundaries. There's nothing that will stop when it comes to research. I mean, it's anything goes no matter what the cost. Researchers can access the patient data through a de-identified blockchain to accelerate findings of early hypothesis research in advanced medicine. It's not about commercializing patients' data. It's not? Right. It's about leveraging the information to accelerate findings. You see how they twist that? So that's not what it's about. It's about leveraging the information to accelerate findings. Except all the research does and their findings never lead to anything that helps you and I. So why should they continue to be allowed to know every little detail about every person? All in the name of research. I'm so fed up with it. Monetizing data comes up somewhere between every 7 or 9 seconds in healthcare, and it depends on what you mean by data, said Richard Zahn, MD, Chief Innovation Officer, UC Health. What's an innovation officer? Likely somebody that doesn't know how to innovate, my guess. If we're going to see 500 patients who are a certain age with specific clinical genomic issues, and we're going to sell the data set, we can't do that, but we can optimize algorithms. Can we use clinical data in drug discovery? Those things are happening every single day. Yeah, how great. Great. Dana Roche, CIO of University of Utah Health in Salt Lake City, said her institution is conservative on commercializing patient data. She said much of the ethical discussions are focused around how data sets for particular patient populations are used and whether the patient's consented. If you have a need and the consent isn't there, you may have to do the honors task of going back and getting consent. But once the consent is there, we can move forward. We sometimes jump to the conclusion that the EHR data is so rich, and why can't we generalize their consent to be in the EHR? They've not consented for commercialization of their data. That's the balance and tug of war right now. You see how it's all of it. I mean, I realize it's just 4 of them, but this is how all of these people are at the top of these health systems. It's just about how can we do this without it legally coming back on us. But they're going to do it either way. They could care less what I say. They could care less what you say, even though it's your data. But they say, no, it's not your data. You don't own it. So what the problem is that the research has gotten out of control. And because of the history of research, it's not shown that it has been positive for you or I. They will come up and say, no, we have 75 vaccines, so that's positive. Is it really? Is it? I'm not going to say anything more than that because that's one of those things you're not allowed to even touch on, right? So I won't go any further than that. But you've never cured anything, and now you think you have a right to take people's data and put it into some large language model, and most of us don't even trust AI. But you think it's okay because we don't own that data, yet you go to the hospital expecting that your data was protected, right? But now, what are the hospitals doing? Because they could care less about human beings. Going and having conference, trying to figure out how to get your data, put it into a big language model, and then they can separate and do the same thing that the damn eugenists were doing back in the 20s, separating the unfit from what they deem as fit. And what I have to say to all of them is you're the unfit people. People that can't listen to others and learn from mistakes are unfit.